Hey, listen, if you don't want to be happier, please do not subscribe to this channel. But if you're interested in more joy, check out this clip. I'm also really struck, and I picked up on this in your podcast and your presence right now, you're very peaceful. You've worked on that.
Well, that's just the way I am.
It is beautiful though. The expressions each person has when we give our lives to the Lord, He takes that thing that He loves about us and just brings that out, you know?
You know, it's a beautiful thing to see as you meet different people who serve the Lord in various ways, how every human trait, when it's redeemed or filled with Christ's grace, becomes a blessing. So you may have a person who's dealt a lot with a lot of anger, but when that is brought to Christ, it becomes energy for evangelization or for living. And I see this all over the place with people. Yeah, when we bring what we are to the Lord, every bit of our humanity, even the parts that we're maybe least happy about, He can use in wonderful ways.
Even the broken parts.
Yeah, maybe almost above all the broken parts. You know, I've been reading Therese recently, and that's her secret. It's not her strength, it's her weakness that's her secret. And her great discovery is that when you take that weakness, and instead of letting it discourage you and I've got to settle for less, you bring it to Jesus. That's where her elevator and all of that comes into it, you know. Then the Lord enters right there where we're weak, and that's where, as Paul says, we become strong. But there's a whole Copernican revolution there that's a beautiful thing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
The spiritual life is anything but boring.
Oh,
It's the ultimate adventure.
well, if you speak in terms of boring, something I've heard Bishop Barron say that's kind of a nice way of saying it, and he's quoting von Balthasar, who speaks of the theodrama and the egodrama. The theodrama is God's plan for our lives and for the world. And then the egodrama is when I take control of my life independently of God, and he says, that's boring. But it's the theodrama that's really exciting.
It is. It's that interplay of like the maker of the universe actually wants to interact with me, actually has something to say, actually leads me.
Brought me into the world for, at this time, in this place, with these people, with these talents, with this health, with this education, for a specific reason, because there's something you can do that nobody else can do. Think of the parents of St. Therese, whom I just mentioned. There were no other parents to raise that Therese. And that's true of every one of us. You know, what's that famous line of St. John Henry Newman? God has given me some task that He has not given to another. I am necessary for His purposes. I have my mission. It's true of all of us.
I'm necessary for His purpose to have a mission. That goes to every phase in life. I was just reflecting on this morning. My parents are watching my kids this weekend. And they left the house, and my teenage daughter is going through some stuff, just started crying. She's like, I miss Grandma. And my mom, at the same time she called me today, she's been reflecting on the lie that the devil often tells people as they get older, that you're irrelevant, right? And I think we reduce relevance to utility in a secular sense. So I have this job. People retire, and they feel like, well, my job's over, so therefore, no. God's working through you right now, whether you're a kid or retired, or you have this job where it's really measurable, right? The accomplishments at the end of the day. Right now, He wants to work through you, and especially, I gotta say this, it's felt inspired with people as you get older, that the time and focus you give to your grandkids, like, talk about relevance. Well, you can't even do that at other phases in your life.
Something Pope Francis is saying repeatedly, you know, he'll always talk about grandparents, and he does that because his own grandmother was very central to his whole spiritual life and vocation. You know, one thing I've noticed, so I'm 68 now, if I can, you know, give that age, and I remember when I was in my 40s, and I had my wisdom figures. I had a wonderful spiritual director, a wonderful doctor who was a good Catholic, and mentors in various ways, and they meant everything to me. And now I'm at the age where I see myself doing that for others. I mean, that's the gift that only age can permit, age and experience.
Man, wasn't that great? I get so much out of these conversations. I know you will too. Be sure to hit subscribe and share the show with everybody you know. We'll see you in the next video.